Hey guys, we have made it through another year. We have stayed strong in the year of 2022, about to go into 2023, but now it is that time where we talk about my personal favorite movies of this year. So let's get started. Before I start my actual list, I want to go over a couple honorable mentions that almost made it, but there was just 10 other better movies. Barbarian. This is one of the hugest surprises of the year, and you need to check it out if you love horror. Hustle starring Adam Sandler, RRR. Really close to being in my top 10, but there was just a couple other better films, but this one in particular is on Netflix, and I do recommend this one. Till. An emotional, impactful film that will move you from beginning to end, and it left me with tears, and I still cannot forget my experience with that movie. All Quiet on the Western Front is another dynamite film, and you need to save some time to watch this epic war movie that took away my breath by the time it ended. So those are my honorable mentions. Now let's start with number 10. Babylon, directed by Damien Chazelle, starring Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Diego Calva. Up above, you can click the link for my full review. Guys, this has everything, and by everything, it's Wolf of Wall Street meets Damien Chazelle. That's really the best way to describe this film. It is a movie about the love of Hollywood, but also the despair of Hollywood and how cinema can take you up, but it can also make you crash down in so many different paths. The performances are phenomenal, and the direction is incredible, especially when it comes to the score and how Justin Hurwitz moves every single string and instrument for every scene. It was absolutely beautiful, and if you love cinema, you will enjoy this film. It's not for everyone. It's rated R. It's 3 hours and like 9 minutes long, and there's a lot of bad stuff in it, so be prepared.
Number 9.
Elvis, directed by Baz Luhrmann, starring Austin Butler as the incredible Elvis. I mean, this guy deserves the Oscar. It's really between him and Brendan Fraser, but Austin Butler fully embodies the man that was called Elvis Presley. And I mean that. I took my mom and my dad to this film, and by the time it ended, because they were alive during the time of Elvis, they watched that film, and I asked them, so how did you think of the guy playing Elvis? And my dad said, that was Elvis.
Number 8.
The Northman, directed by Robert Eggers, starring Alexander Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, Ethan Hawke, Anya Taylor-Joy. A24 has had a spectacular year, and not just 1 year, multiple years. But this is one of those films that has still stuck with me. I recently rewatched it a couple days ago, and it is epic in every sense, every conceivable way. If you want to watch a film that takes revenge, but also heartfelt, heart-wrenching moments and expands it in a Viking style, you're gonna love this movie. And it is more than just a revenge tale. It actually has a really good plot, really good character building moments, and a spectacular finale that left my jaw to the floor.
Number 7.
What can I say? Netflix is just killing it. Pinocchio, specifically Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, not the Disney one. This movie had it all. It had heart, it had incredible design. When it comes to stop motion films, just the way that they are able to make these characters feel so alive, and you know that they're fake. These are just little mini puppets essentially, and the way they go about it with the environments. I believe they used a blend of CGI for the backgrounds and obviously real like stop motion like characters, and it was just so flawless how they did that. And when it comes to the story, when it comes to most of the musical numbers, and the incredible finale that had me in tears.
Number 6.
Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery. Rian Johnson has done it again. Without getting into spoilers, because this is another experience movie. This is one of those movies where you just need to turn off all the lights, watch in the middle of the night, get your popcorn, your soda, and dive right into what Rian Johnson has for you. Daniel Craig is great. Edward Norton's fantastic. Dave Bautista he's Dave Bautista. He's great in everything. How they utilize this cast, Rian Johnson, he has done it again by incorporating interesting characters with an interesting plot and a phenomenal whodunit that never disappoints. Can't wait for Knives Out 3.
Number 5.
The Fabelmans, directed by Steven Spielberg. When I said that Babylon just showcased Hollywood and the love of it, but also the sadness of it, the despair of old Hollywood. It truly is a beautiful love letter, but this is really the love letter of cinema. Steven Spielberg showcases his real life story, at least it's based on his real life story, and puts it on the big screen, and it made me weep. I was laughing out loud with one of the best character setups in a movie this year. I'm not lying. It is probably my favorite character setup. I'm not going to give away any indication of what character it is. This is his story, and I didn't know half of the things that happened in his life. And Steven Spielberg, you are the GOAT. You did an incredible job with this film, and I cannot wait to rewatch it with my family for years to come. Okay, now we're in the part that was really hard for me. It took me days to figure this out. I had to rewatch the top 4 movies over and over again to solidify, but
Number 4.
Avatar: The Way of Water. This is the definition of a movie. There's film and there's movies, and you can check my full non-spoiler review up in the link above. This is an action-packed, emotional, character-driven story that is larger than life, and you need to see it in 3D. It probably won't be the same experience when I watch it at home, not with 3D, not with the booming sound quality that Dolby Cinema can provide, or IMAX. Even with that being said, take away the 3D, it is still an action-filled movie with such great characters, and James Cameron knows how to pull off a world that expands to larger than life possibilities and then puts you in the middle of it, making you feel like you are there. And Avatar: The Way of Water exceeded from what I thought the sequel could pull off, and I am just drooling for Avatar 3. I need it right now. So please check out the review, but also check out Avatar: The Way of Water in 3D for your first time at least. You will not be disappointed.
Number 3.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, directed by the Daniels. Personally, I think they should get the Best Director nomination. Yes, they did a better job than Steven Spielberg and James Cameron and other directors that I'll get into. They took this small, low-budget film and somehow made it look like a $100 million budget movie. I believe it was around the $25 to $30 million range, and it's the most successful financially A24 film. And I can see why. It is easily one of the most rewatchable A24 films. It is one of the most, I guess, modern, or it's not so artsy-fartsy, how those losers like to call it, because it's too slow, A24. I don't like their movies. They're too weird. This is still weird. This is like the weirdest movie of the year, but it's still all about, and I go back to it, it's all about the characters. It's all about the story. And when you get to that third act with the daughter, the mother, the father, and that guy is going to get Best Supporting Actor. It's incredible. Truly one of my favorites, and one of the most original films I've ever seen in my life.
Number 2.
Top Gun: Maverick. This, and people have already seen this, so I won't take long on this one. This movie's incredible. It is the definition of also a movie. Like, this is epic. It is big. It never stops with the pacing, in the sense of it always just exceeds and expands and keeps going until you get to the third act, and almost shifts into like an entirely different movie with what they do with the characters of Tom Cruise and Miles Teller. Joseph Kosinski, I believe, is the director. Just incredible with what you were able to pull off, and how they were able to do all the flight sequences and actually put real people in majority of the scenes. I applaud you, and you gave me one of the best movie experiences I've had in years.
Number 1.
This is obvious, The Batman. I mean, what can I say? Let me just get my little guy out here with me while I'm talking about it. The Batman. This is one of the most incredible comic book movies, but not just comic book, movies in general. And I'm going to say this. To me, this is the best Batman movie. Not a whole lot than The Dark Knight. They're pretty much close to being even, like a 9.9 and a 9.8 difference. But this is my Batman. The detective angle that Matt Reeves was able to pull off, how he realizes the character of Bruce Wayne and the Batman, and how they are one and the same, but they are so different. And also, you got Paul Dano. Let me get my guy out here. Paul Dano, the Riddler, the best villain of the year, and he was also in The Fabelmans. This is Paul Dano's year. But these two characters are also one and the same, and how Matt Reeves was able to fully realize that and portray it in a way that I never thought was conceivable. Margot, shut up. Matt Reeves did the impossible by portraying these two characters as if they were one and the same, because they are. And I also applaud you, Matt Reeves, for doing that. And the last thing I want to mention about this movie is the incredible score that definitely got snubbed from the Oscars. Michael Giacchino, you deserve the Oscar. And if I were to give you the Oscar, I would, my friend. That was my top 10. Thank you, buddies, for being here with me. What are your favorite movies for this year? Whether it's the top 5 or top 10, let me know in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also don't forget to be blessed.